Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. To all my subscribers, my family members, welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by for yet another video. And to all those who are new here, you are welcome. For you to be part of this family, it's very easy. Can you imagine? You just have to press that subscribe button and like this video. And don't forget to press that notification button so that every time on Monday when I post my videos, you'll be the first one to be notified. In these videos, I share my story, my journey. What can I say? I was involved in a car accident. I've mentioned it before, a fatal one. So I'm sharing my story on how it affected me, all the injuries that I sustained, and yeah. So I've decided that, you know what, it's better for me to share with people who are going through almost the same thing as I am going through, because there are lots of different journeys that we go through. Others may be abuse, others may be car accident like I am, others may be going through um, um, terminal illness, some others may be going through what can I say, financial difficulties. But this videos, it covers everyone. It when you listen to it, it inspires you, even though you are going through a different thing than what I'm going through. It can also help you to say, oh, there are people who are going through this. It's either it's worse or it's your situation is worse, but at least it gives you that motivation or that inspiration or that comfort that says, I am not alone. There are people who are going through worse. There are people who went through worse and they are still living their best life as best as they can. Um, yeah, so guys, you're welcome. All those who are new, I hope you fall in love. I hope you stay. And yeah, you're welcome in this family. Like I said, my name is Nomblelo Kazadi, and today we'll be sharing about depression. We covered it last time, where I was sharing how I was depressed and all the things that happened to me, why I was depressed. Actually, yes, I was covering why I was depressed. There's something that you guys need to know. There's a difference between feeling depressed and being depressed. So we are going to cover all of that today. You're going to cover the behavior. We are going to cover the feelings, the physical what can I say, the physical symptoms, the feelings, they a lot. So yeah, I've drafted something because there's something that I didn't tell you, which I am going to cover on another page. I was in my after the car accident, I battled a lot with my memory. I didn't have much of a head injury. Yes, my head was knocked because of here, and my memory just got disturbed. I don't know what was the reason. Was it because I didn't have brain damage? I just hit my head very hard, but I have memory loss. Sometimes I thought maybe it's the depression, but it took about, I don't know, for the longest time I'm struggling with my memory. That is why even now when I'm studying, I have to like study very hard. It's just hard. There was a time where, I think I'm covering it now, but I don't want to. I'll go into details about it. But there was a time where I'll forget my own name. I'll forget my children's name. It was that bad. Because remember, on the story, when I mentioned that on that the day I woke up, I was disorientated. I forgot who I was. I forgot what happened the day of the accident. Let me just say two weeks prior the accident, and yeah, it took me some time for my memory to be okay. I'm still not 100% sure. That is why most of the things that I do, I write down. My phone is full of notes. whenever I go outside, like to do something, I have to write down. So even now, I just covered some key points on my book, which it won't affect you. I have most of the things in my mind because this is what happened to me. I'm not sharing a theory that I've learned or that I've written down. No, I am telling my story on the symptoms that I realized after that I had depression. So I don't know if that makes sense because I didn't notice that I have depression. It's my husband who noticed. It's my medical doctor who referred me to a psychologist, and my psychologist referred me to a psychiatrist. It was that bad. So the difference between feeling depressed and being depressed. So feeling depressed is like when you're sad, you're feeling overwhelmed at the moment, you're just stressed on the it's actually a normal reaction that everyone has, every human being have has rather when they are feeling stressed, when they are sad, when they are feeling depressed at that particular moment, or for those days, or for that particular season. Oh, I don't know how to put it, but you feel it right there and there. You feel sad because you've been beaten. You feel sad because you can't really, or you can't buy bread, something like that, or someone. It's just a normal reaction. And depression, it's a mental disorder where it affects your mood, it affects the way that you act, it affects the way that you feel. These are the things that I am going to discuss with you guys. That how can you tell that you're depressed, or how can you tell that you are just feeling depressed at the moment? So there are different types of feeling depressed or being depressed. So there are also different stages. It differs with people. It differs also with what can I say, with situations or with a manner of trauma that people went through. Other people can be depressed. They just don't want to go out because they are afraid that people are mocking them all the time. Oh, you're ugly. Oh, your skin color. Oh, your weight loss, your weight, or your body shape. They feel ashamed and insecure. So there's also depression where sorry, my eye has. So there's also another depression where you just feel numb. You don't feel happy, you don't feel sad, you don't feel joyful, you don't feel angry, you're just numb. That's another depression where you ask yourself, why am I so cold towards things that are happening in my life? You can laugh at me. I'm just at that point where I don't care anymore. I don't feel angry. I don't feel sad. I don't feel happy. I'm just numb. I'm at that stage where it affected me to a point where I don't care anymore. I'm numb. You can say whatever. I'm just numb. I just don't feel sad. I'm numb. I don't know if that really happened to you, but that's what didn't happen to me. That didn't happen to me. There's a stage where there are other people who are affected in that way, where they're just numb. I remember a friend of mine said, Nomblelo, I was bullied a lot when I was young, where I would be afraid. For me to wake up in the morning and go to school was a struggle. I didn't look forward to. Others going to work, it's a struggle because there are groups at work where they gossip about each other. When you come, they keep quiet, or it's just a toxic place to be because of how you look, because of how you behave, because of what you have, or because of the way that you wear, because you can't afford things. So you reach a point where it doesn't bother you anymore. That's another type of depression that it's not that dangerous, it's not that bad, but it's not okay to feel like that. It's not a good place to be, where you don't feel happy, you don't feel you're just numb, you don't feel sad, you don't feel angry, you're just an existing person where you don't have feelings anymore towards a certain issue, I can say. So I don't care what people say. I don't go. People think that's a good thing. There's a difference between acceptance and feeling numb about things. People think that it's okay for you not to feel happy. It's okay for you not to be angry. It's okay for you not to be sad. That's not a good or healthy way or healthy place to be. You have to feel happy sometimes. You are a human being. You need to feel sad when things happen to you. You need to feel angry whenever someone does something wrong to you. That's a normal reaction for a person who is alive, who is normal. But if you feel you reach a stage where I don't care, yeah. So there's that stage. How I the stage where I was with me, I was depressed. I was not feeling depressed. I was depressed, where my moods were affected, my mental health. I was no longer the Nombulelo that I was. So I was in that dark place where I didn't understand the person that I was before, that I am rather, because a lot has changed. If you have met me before, those who knows me, most of people who are watching here, they've met me before, and there's a significant change. Of course, my nose is still the same. This is my signature. My nose is still the same, but there are things that change: my eyes, my weight, my complexion, the way that I behave. I remember, and the way that I think. And there are people who I meet in town. I can tell, like now, I don't want to be like going to someone and say, "Hey, Gunjani," if they don't recognize me. I'll just greet them and check if they remember me or not. People who see me every day, they'll tell you, no, really, you didn't change, you're still the same. That's because you've been seeing me like before the accident, right after the car accident, and now. So this is the number that you know. But if you met me before, and then time goes on, you meet me after the accident, maybe like a year after, or the people that met me 2 years after, they totally didn't recognize me because I've totally changed. So that affected me. Due to one of the major symptoms that you feel is to lose interest to the things that you loved before. You also don't want to go out. Like literally, you can be an introvert where you don't like to go out, but then when it comes to depression, you don't want to go out, even out from your room. You just want to be alone all the time. You also the things that were normal to you, they don't seem normal to you anymore. So you don't enjoy. Like with myself, I used to love going around singing. I used to love singing, but after I realized, even going to church, I really loved going to church to worship God. Obviously, that's who I am. And after that, I just lost interest for me to go out and meet other people. That's one of the things that I realized, that I was depressed. Another thing, I lost interest in playing with my kids, including my husband. I didn't want them close to me. I just wanted to be alone because I was in pain all the time. With them, they thought me, cause mama, she's in pain, so she doesn't want to play with us. And they were still young by then. It didn't affect them that much because they were still young. For them, they thought mama is just in pain. And my husband could tell that I've changed a lot, where it also affected him. There was a time where I thought that I think my husband was depressed as well because of how I was behaving, where I didn't want him closer to me. Whenever he's making jokes, they were just dead jokes. I didn't laugh to his jokes. He really wanted to, because my husband and I, we are like this. We are best friends. Whenever I was no longer talking to him, I was no longer interested in talking to anyone. Another thing, you can feel yourself like people that you loved spending time with, you don't love, you don't want to see them anymore. Close family, oh my God, I hate my family so much, where I didn't want them to come to my house. I think I've mentioned this in my old video. You will feel yourself that, you know what, I don't want anyone to come to my house. There are people who are naturally like that. They don't want anyone to visit them. But now, if you were not like that, and now all of a sudden you are like that, that's a sign that you're no longer okay. You need attention. I'm naturally, I love my space, but also when I'm with people, I talk a lot. So I don't know whether I'm introvert or I'm extrovert. So one of the things that people around me didn't realize that I'm depressed is because they know that I love my space. They know that I enjoy being by myself, and they also know that whenever I'm out there, I talk. So that's when they were so confused whether am I depressed or not, but the person that really saw that I'm no longer okay is my husband, because he was always with me. So sometimes there's also irritation. This one, it's bad. Irritation, it's bad because things that, especially if you have kids, guys, or you have people who loves you, people around you, small things, they irritate you. Like things that they seem like nothing, like jokes, they irritate you. Things, what can I say, like things that they don't really, it's not a big deal, but with you it's going to be a big deal. Like really, you're going to be sad and cry and be angry. So that's when you realize, good time, and I snap like that. Small things, I just snap. If my kids, they drop a cup and break it, I will just be irritated and snap. If they do something wrong, I help them with homework, and they don't do it right, I really get irritated. That's how, again, I realize, or I notice that I am depressed, because I was irritated with little things. And another thing that you can tell that you're depressed is making something so small to be a big deal. I can make an example with, what can I say? Okay, let's take you do have money in your bank account, but now you don't have cash for you to go to the next shop to go and buy, like 10 rand. I don't know how bread, 14 rand now, right? Bread is 14 rand. So you don't have that particular money at that moment. You are going to cry. You are going to feel like the world around you is crumbling. Something small, you are going to make it very big. You are going to panic. I am going to die. Like, if I don't eat this bread, why don't I have money? Why, something small for you, it's going to be a big deal. Like, big deal. If you see like you're having a pimple, already you feel ugly. Already you feel like your world is falling apart. Already you feel like everyone can see that particular pimple. Something small for you, it really brings anxiety, where it just triggers you to a point where you feel like your world has ended. That's how you feel like you're depressed. Something small stresses you to a point where you have anxiety. You can't even breathe. You panic. You feel like it's the end of the world. That's how I used to feel. If I ask my husband, can you please buy me chocolate? And he tells me, my love, I don't have money. Yo, Vele, we don't have money. We are poor. I don't know what will happen to us tomorrow. What if? What if? What if? What if? You know, I feel like everything is wrong. Everything is going to end. Like the world is ending today. So small stress for you, it's like a big deal. For you, you feel like you have failed in life. That's how I used to feel. You know, I knew that I wasn't ugly, but for me, I felt like I was a monster because I didn't have an eye anymore. I'm having an artificial eye. For me, I smile differently. Whenever I laugh, my other side, the other side of my mouth is opening too much than the other side, as you can see on this video. So for me, I felt like I am a monster. People used to tell me, no, you're beautiful. I didn't see that. For me, I even get irritated if someone tells me that because I didn't see that. I mentioned on the other video that I felt like my husband would leave me. That's how I felt. I just because I looked at myself, there was a time when my husband took away all the mirrors. He's going out, going to work. For me, he's cheating. In Congolese culture, if someone is married, like a woman is married, they call her mama. Whenever a man is married, they call that person papa. So whenever he talks in French, because I don't understand French, I didn't understand French, so he'll talk, mama, wada, 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 wada. For me, he was cheating. He's calling someone mama. It's a romantic word, because that's how he calls me sometimes. Why do you call someone mama? For me, that was a big deal. That's how my poor husband was going through a lot. That's how he realized that my wife is not okay. You know, my moods they will swing. Like I'll go from being super happy to super sad just by a little thing that happened. If you laugh, I feel like you're laughing at me. Something small, something that is not even there, I'll make it something. That's how you realize that you are depressed. So there's a behavior, feelings, and thoughts and physical symptoms that you get. So with not getting things done, and go fashion design as well, I'll not get my projects done in time. But that time I was already treating it, so it was a bit better. So it's time for sports. My husband will go there, not me. I would feel sick that day, not physically, but I'll just feel sick mentally. Like I was bananas. I was something. My feelings, you'll feel so overwhelmed. You'll feel indecisive. You'll want to do this and then say, no, I can't do it. I think people will judge me. Another thing, you'll feel guilty all the time. You'll feel guilty. You'll feel like everything is your fault. You'll feel like you deserve to be ugly. You deserve to be laughed at. You deserve to be bullied because I look that way, because I did it to myself. That's how you'll feel, because that's how depressed people feel. They feel guilty all the time. Like, the thing is thoughts. You'll feel like you're a failure all the time. You feel like I'm a failure. I can't do this because you don't get things done. You'll feel like everything is your fault. You'll also feel like nothing good ever happens to you. You'll feel like God is forsaken you. You'll feel like, this happened to me because God doesn't love me anymore. You'll feel worthless. You'll feel like people will be better off without you. Another thing, your thoughts of killing yourself. I said it last time that I'll mention it. My husband will literally take away all sharp objects around me because I attempted killing myself more than 10 times or more than 8 times. Like sometimes I remember I'm still having slits here where I cut myself, like cut open all my nerves, and he has to run. And thank God I didn't reach on my, is it nerves? Yeah, where your blood is literally running. Yeah, I didn't reach there. I'll just cut myself. You'll find me cutting myself. He took that thing away from me. I always had pain medication around me. I'll drink and try to kill myself. God said it's not time. I'll just feel sick for a week and regret why did I do that, because it's so painful. I'm just laughing about it, but it was very sad. I was in a dark place where I felt like killing myself all the time. Another thing is, I felt like my kids will be okay without me being there. I felt like, what's the point of me being there if I can't take care of them? They are better off without me. You'll feel that way if you're depressed. You'll feel like, whether I'm here or not, what's the point? I am worthless. I don't matter. So another thing is physical symptoms. Physical symptoms, you'll feel tired all the time. You'll just feel tired out of nowhere because thinking a lot as well, it drains you. It makes you feel, you'll have this fatigue that you don't know where it's coming from. You'll feel so tired all the time. You'll feel sick and down and sad, and sometimes you'll feel pains that are not even there. You'll just feel like you're in pain. And sometimes out of thinking too much, you'll have headaches. I remember I used to have bad headaches, guys. I used to have bad headaches to a point where I felt like I'm having chronic headaches now, and I'll even blame my face injury, or I'll blame the accident, because the pains were just too much, and they were only this side because this is where I was affected. So I'll only feel pains here, and I'll just say, no, it's the end of the world, I'm dying, because they're thinking too much, feeling like you're no longer, because depression goes with stress. You stress all the time because little things for you, they're a big thing. If you don't have money to buy something now, you feel like you are broke. You feel like there's no future for you. You feel like your kids are going to go hungry, while it's only that day. You don't have money for bread only that day, but for you it's a big deal, so you'll think too much and ending up having headache. Another thing, another symptoms is having sleeping problems. This one was the major one. I remember I'll go for days. When I'm saying days, I mean 3 days without closing my eyes, because I don't know how to describe it, but have you ever felt like you can't sleep? And that's another thing that makes you to be tired all the time, because I'll go days without sleeping. I'll pretend like I'm sleeping so that my husband will rest, but I was not sleeping, guys. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how it happened, but I couldn't sleep. Even myself now, I ask myself, how does that even happen? It happens. You fail to sleep. You close your eyes so hard. You'll just close your eyes so hard, but it's not coming. For you, you just want to think and stress, and I don't know how does this thing work. I don't know how God created it. I don't know how he did it, but you literally don't sleep. Another thing, you don't feel hungry, or you feel super hungry. Your eating pattern, they just change. So with me, I was eating a lot. I was eating a lot. So for me to get to bury that pain, I would eat a lot to a point where I'm drunk. Have you ever felt drunk? Sign that you're depressed. It's excessive weight gain and excessive weight loss. So now, those are the signs that you see. It's there are feelings that are involved. There's a physical symptoms that are involved. There are thoughts that they are involved as well. Yeah. So how did I find out that I am depressed? My husband saw it, but because of the way that I was acting, snapping all the time, irritated, he was afraid to tell me. And it until we went to my medical doctor. I was in pain that day. And then he asked some questions. Why are you feeling? Because I was not in pain, but in my mind, I was feeling pain. My mind was telling me that I have pains, but I didn't feel pain. So he was a bit concerned that you are not in pain, but you say you're feeling pain. So he started asking questions, and my husband was there, and he asked questions because he can tell that I'm no longer okay mentally. For him, he thought that maybe I went mental, like I'm crazy, because I was seeing things that were not there. I was feeling pains that were not there. And he started to, he asked those questions, and we fill on a form to check if you're depressed or not. That's when he figured out that I'm depressed. And with my depression, it's because there are stages. There's being depressed, and then there's being depressed, and there's being depressed. Like there are stages of being depressed. So with me, I was at the stage where all the time I would want to kill myself. And all the time I would be tired. All the time I would not want to bath. I would not want to clean the house. I would not. So, my husband will mention that as well. Then he didn't tell me, because he knows how depressed people act. He didn't tell me that you're depressed. He just told me that I think you need to talk to someone about your pains that you're going through every day. He led me to a psychologist, and then the psychologist realized that it's no longer just depression. Now it was a mental disorder where I needed to treat it. So they referred me to a psychiatrist where they put me into medication, and unfortunately, I'm still taking the medication right now, but my doctor reduced the dose, so it feels like I am getting better, because I pray a lot about it as well. I really want to be delivered from this. I don't want to rely on medication forever. So yeah, I think that's my story, guys. I don't know what you are going through. It might happen that you have slight symptoms like this one. I would advise you to get help. I would advise you to talk to someone, not necessarily getting treatment like I am, but I'll advise you to pray about it. And because with me, I can see that prayer is working. It's not only the medication. Since I started being active in church, I can see the huge difference where I talk to people, I communicate, and I don't want to talk too much. I feel like I've dragged this video for so long. But yeah, guys, these are the symptoms that you need to look out for. Not only for you, but for people around you. Because as our community, as Black people, we feel like when a person is feeling this way, they're just seeking for attention. They're just having an attitude. They don't want to talk to people. No, it's not. Mental health is real. Depression is real. And you don't things like that you must consider or see your loved ones, what they are going through. And normalize checking on people. Even if you feel like these people, they are rejecting you, call them and ask how they are. It helps that as well. It helps me, even though I rejected my family, but for them to call me and say, Nomblela, are you okay? I'm not in pain today. That really helped me to say, okay, I'm not alone. So let us normalize calling people. Let us normalize praying for people, because prayer really helps depression a lot. It happened for me. Yes, I'm not at that age, at that stage yet, but this month I'm going to see my doctor. I'm hoping that he'll stop me from this, because I don't want to stop by myself, because I don't want to go back to that. It's scary. I don't want to go back there, but I believe that I'm healed. And if you have met me recently, if you'll tell that Nomdela is no longer the same. So guys, I don't want to drag this for so long. I don't know what topic you're going to talk about next month, next week, but I'll still decide. But it's going to be epic. It's going to be nice. So let us wait up for it. It's going to be epic. So I hope this video encouraged you. I hope this video opened your eyes. I hope this video helped you a lot. It's going to help you to see if your loved ones, they are depressed, and help them as much as you can. Help them to go and see a counselor in church if you can afford a psychologist. Help them by being there for them. Talk to them. Your parents, they can talk to them. Friends that they're close to, a mentor or someone old in your community, if you can afford a psychologist. But I'll advise you to go. Even public hospitals right now, they offer psychologists. So guys, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you so much for supporting my video. Thank you so much. Like I said before, I'm not here for money. I'm here to reach out to your audience where they need my help. And I'm sharing this story because I need you and I want you to be helped as much as you can. So help me by liking this video. Like it and comment if you can, so that it will reach more people that really need to hear this. So bye bye guys. I love you so much. Bye.